right? So if you set the HP to start at 2951, then so will the ghost HP property. And this one is just the ghost exists to make the animation work better, because we'll need a starting frame and an ending frame. The ghost is going to be the start, the HP is going to be the end. I'll explain that when the time comes. So ghost is pretty much is there to serve a function, just like maximum HP is there to serve its own function. And I'm going to tell you what the use of ghost is going to be. But the point is, they're all going to start at the same level. Now, if you want to start the player with half HP or less than full HP, you want to set ghost to start off at whatever HP was set to. Because they're always going to be together in logic. Then the two other properties, as I said, we're going to take the original HP and the ghost HP, since you know it exists now. We're going to take HP and ghost, convert them both to a percent property, and then we're going to take that percent property and multiply it by 10 to come up with the animation HP. And that's what these two properties are going to be: anim HP and anim ghost HP. So these two properties are the ones that are going to be used in the animation function. So we're going to set them all to display as debug properties. We're going to go to Window and hit Game, Show Debug Properties. And what that's going to do, if I hit P, notice over here at the top left, if I hit P, you can see the properties there, all the debug properties I listed. You probably don't know what each of these does besides the HP, which is the actual health that if it goes down to 0, the player dies. Aside from that, you don't know what these do. Don't worry, I'll explain it. Alright, so now we have our properties for our health bar. What we'll need is the always sensor to run our script, because we'll do everything via script, except for one thing I'll show you. You connect it. We're going to create a script, game logic simple. Delete all these useless lines. Change this to health bar, which is the owner of the controller. Add the script. We can call this health script, and it's there, it's connected. Now we want to have a way to take damage. We can have healing, but that's basically reversing what the damage is going to be like. So basically I'm going to teach you how to reduce health. You can just take that, reverse the logic, and you have healing, right? So you can do that yourself. You can experiment with it. It's always good to explore and get the pleasure of discovery. So we're going to add a keyboard sensor, and that's going to be the basic way for we're just going to press the space button, and that's going to reduce the health. I don't want to set up enemies and whatever. That's out of the scope of the tutorial. I'm going to set it to tap so that it doesn't drain the health when I press space. It's just going to reduce a fixed amount of HP points. And my throat is bothering me right now. So yeah, we're going to have a keyboard sensor which is going to detect the space press. You can do that using Python. You should already know that if you watch my other tutorials, but I'm just going to go with this. So let's go ahead and add the necessary logic for playing around with the properties. As I said, we have the 3 stages. The original HP stage, which is going to be using HP and ghost HP. Then there's going to be the second stage, which is going to be a property we're going to create in Python, which is going to be the percent of the HP. And then there's going to be the animation, and I'm going to show you guys how that's going to look. So first thing, we already have our original HP. The first stage is already complete. It's done over here, the HP and the ghost HP. Now we want to create the percent. So the first property, we're going to create a percent for HP, and the first property is going to be pers HP. So percent HP equals. Now how do we get this property? It's an object property. Pers is a variable that is a Python property. HP is a property that belongs to the health bar object, and here we called it health bar, right? So I'm going to say to be able to get this property and manipulate it in a script, it's going to be health bar. If you might have seen this in my gun swapping tutorial, health bar, and the name of course is HP, no caps, so HP. So to get the percent of this value of whatever the health is going to be, it's going to be health bar divided by, of course, to get a percent, you need to have something to represent 100%, which is what we're going to divide our HP by. Well, that 100% value is the maximum HP. So we're going to divide it by health bars bars, health bar, max HP. And then of course that's going to give us a value where if it's 100% it's going to be 1.0, if it's 50% it's going to be 0.5. We want it to be out of 100. So we're going to multiply it by 10. And that's how we get the percent. And now we're going to duplicate this. Health bar, this is going to be pers ghost. So we're going to add ghost HP. And that's going to take the ghost HP. Instead of just the standard HP, we're going to get ghost, and then HP in this property here is capitals. So this one, HP, is this property. Maximum HP is maximum HP. Ghost HP is ghost HP here, and this maximum HP stays the same because the maximum HP is just what it is. It doesn't change. And what this is, let me just zoom in because some people complain that they can't really see the script that well, especially with the blurry quality. I apologize for that. So we have our HP and ghost HP. To get their percents, which is represented by pers HP and pers ghost HP, the variables, we take the health bar, we divide it by the maximum HP, and we multiply it by 10. You know how to calculate percents if you've ever calculated your mark, obviously, after a test or whatever. Just the same method. Nothing complicated. So that's how we get the percent. Obviously, the next step is to create the properties that will represent the starting and ending frame for the animation, for the health bar animation. So for convenience, we called these anim HP, and I put imghost here. So I'm going to call it, oh no, it was fine. It's anim ghost. I'm just going to have to extend this to see the full name. So anim HP and anim ghost HP are going to represent the starting, which is anim ghost, and ending frames of the animation. So these exist so our animation plays properly. In order to calculate them, as I said, a percent is out of 100 and our animation is out of 1,000. So what we'll do is we'll just take, because this is an object property, we'll have to write the object name. So we're going to take health bar equals pers HP. Percent is out of 100. We want it to be out of 1,000 so that our animation plays properly. So, you know, to get 1,000 from 100, you just multiply it by 10. Whoops. And this little star here represents multiply. Of course, this represents divide. I didn't explain that. And then we're going to do the same thing for ghost. Oh, sorry, I didn't complete the name of the property here. So health bar. You got to add the square brackets. Seems I have a freeze. No, I don't. So why isn't this working? Let me just save. And I'm going to restart Blender because sometimes a glitch happens. I'll be back.